Okay, Jeevan, good
Yes,
afternoon.
sir.
How are you
Good
doing?
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
So,
Fine, sir.
Jeevan, you have a mock interview. We are going to have mock interview for you. That is for ISRO, ISRO, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Jeevan, before we start, there are three members in the panel: me, Saklani sir, and Vishal sir. So, before we go forward, I want your brief introduction. Please go ahead with the brief introduction.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone, sir. Sir, I am Jeevan. I am from Hyderabad. I have done my BTech from Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology with an aggregate of 76 percentage, and I have done my schooling from Hyderabad with an aggregate of 88 percentage. Um, uh, During my BTech, my major project is a counterflow heat exchanger, which is a mobile counterflow heat exchanger, and my hobbies are playing chess and playing cricket. Um, uh, right now, my favorite subjects for this interview is strength of materials, fluid mechanics, and thermodynamics.
Good. So, I think we initiate with Virender Saklani sir for strength of material first.
Okay. So, Jeevan, so strength of material, why we call it as this subject as a strength of material?
Sir?
So you're saying that your favorite subject is strength of material. One of the favorite subject is strength of material, right?
Yes, sir.
Why we call this subject as a strength of materials?
So, because strength is the property where the material is going to fail, the maximum stress where the material is going to fail. We will be designing the material where the material is going to fail. We need to have a safe design so that we study the properties of the material. We study the material property strength for designing. So this is the main important property.
Okay, so what are the different types of strengths that you normally define for a material?
So we find yield strength, ultimate tensile strength, and fracture strength.
That's all.
Yes, sir. Compressive strength.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What else?
compressive shear strength, but we can get it from ultimate tensile strength.
We can get shear strength from ultimate tensile strength.
For ductile materials.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so doesn't it depend upon the type of loading?
Uh, no, sir.
No. So
No.
that means strength does not depend upon the type of loading, right?
Means, are you talking about impact like that, sir, or
No, no. I'm
strength?
saying that my simple question is: does the strength depends upon the type of loading?
Strength. Yes, sir. It depends. Like
How?
for if it is a fluctuating load, then we consider about endurance strength, and if it is a normal tensile load, we consider ultimate tensile
Let us
strength.
say if I talk in terms of static loading only, then let's not consider about the dynamic loading.
Okay. Yes, sir. It won't depend, sir.
It depends.
It won't depend.
It will not depend upon. So can you let me know the factors on which strength depends? One or two factors.
Um, so strength depends on the cross-sectional area, the cross-sectional area of the material.
Strength depends upon the cross-sectional area of the material.
Yes, sir.
So what are the units of strength that you normally make use of?
So Newton per mm square.
So that means does it depends upon the cross-sectional area then? Let's say you're having a strength, yield strength for the mild steel, let us say hypothetically I'm saying let us say 250 megapascal for the mild steel. Yield strength for the mild steel.
Yes, sir.
So will it depend upon its cross-sectional area? That means if I change the cross-sectional area of this mild steel specimen or object, will
So
this
it is
value
like
change?
interdependent, sir. It depends on force and area simultaneously.
No, no. You are saying that you defined it in terms of megapascal.
Yes, sir.
So I'm saying simply that if I change the cross-section area of that object or that component, will the yield strength of that particular material will change?
No, sir. No.
But you are saying it will depend upon the cross-section area.
No, sir. It won't depend.
Okay. So, can you let me know let us say you are having a bar, simply bar. Let us say like you are having a pen of this shape, right? So if you are hitting this particular bar, let's say it is made up of steel. So what kind of stresses will be generated in it?
Sir, if it is fixed, then we can get thermal stresses. If it is not fixed, like if the expansion is free, we are allowing the expansion of the material. Then there will be no stresses developed in the material.
So, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm fixing it from one end and
Even
then heating it up.
Even if we fix from one end also, there, because from other end there is an expansion, right, sir? Free expansion. So there is no restriction to this expansion. So there will be no stresses in this material.
Okay, so let's say I'm fixing it from both the ends, and now I'm cooling this bar.
Cooling.
Yes.
Okay.
So what kind of load will be exerted on the walls on which that particular component is fixed?
So even if we cool, the material is going to compress, and there will be no risk. First of all, there will be no stresses, and there will be no force of force.
There will be no stresses.
Yes, sir. So
you have fixed this bar on the two like walls, let us say, right? And I'm saying that you are cooling this bar now, and what kind of load will be exerted on these supports? Can you have this particular on this figure? Just Mr. Vijendra has drawn that figure for you.
Yes, sir.
So I'm cooling that bar. So I'm asking that what kind of force will be exerted on these particular fixed ends or these walls.
Okay, sir. If it is cooling, then it is going to compress. Then
What kind of stress
it will be tensile, sir. Tensile.
Tensile, huh?
Yes.
And what about tensile stress on which? On the walls or on this bar?
On the bar.
On the bar. What about the walls?
It is opposite to that.
They will be compressed.
Yes.
Walls will be compressed, right?
Sir, 1 minute. If it is going to expand. Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Sir, if it is heating, then it will be compressive on the material.
I'm just talking about cooling.
Yes, sir. It will be opposite.
You said that if you're cooling, then tensile stresses will be generated on the bar.
Yes, sir.
That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
And what will happen on the supports or those walls? Compressive or tensile?
On the walls, it is compressive, sir.
Just think for a while. Take 2 seconds, 5 seconds.
Sir, are they attached? It is like fixed, right?
Yeah,
sir?
fixed.
If it is going to compress.
Okay, so do you know about strain energy?
Yes, sir.
So what is strain energy?
So whenever a material is going to be, whenever a material is under a tension or compression, it is going to elongate. So strain energy is the energy stored by a material under this tension or compression, just like a spring.
Okay. So what is the use of strain energy?
So strain energy, if we calculate up to elastic limit, we will get resilience. And greater the resilience means greater the material having the material have the property to absorb shock. And greater the, suppose if we take the strain energy up to failure point, we will get toughness of the material. And greater the toughness, then the material is going to resist more energy. more
So,
more
in
load.
material, what would you like to have? Toughness or strength?
Sir, it depends on the application, sir.
It depends upon the application.
What
Yes,
about
sir.
spring? What about spring?
So spring should have high resilience.
What about strength?
Uh, Strength should also be higher.
Okay, can you tell me stress strain diagram of which material is this?
It can be aluminium, sir. Aluminium.
Okay, if it is aluminum, give me the resilience and toughness in this.
Sir, if we want resilience, as this is a varying load, we will take the proof stress.
Okay,
Like 0.2% strain. From 0.2% strain, we will draw a tangent.
tell me again.
From 0.2% strain,
0.2% strain.
We will draw a tangent, sir.
Tangent in
Parallel,
which direction?
parallel to the tangent at the origin.
Okay, I should draw a tangent at the origin. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
And now
to
I
this
should draw a parallel
tangent,
line.
we will draw a parallel line.
Okay. What is
And
this called?
this is the yield point.
Okay, so what is this method called?
So proofs.
Offset method?
Sir, I don't remember the name.
Offset method?
Offset.
You know what is offset?
Yes, sir. That
you know
is
what
the
is offset?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what is the resilience now?
Now we will drop a perpendicular to the x-axis.
Right?
Yes, sir. Now the area under this graph is resilience.
And what is the unit?
Sir, Newton. Strain energy.
What is the area? What is the unit under area of stress strain diagram?
Yes, it is our mm. Sir, it is Newton per mm square.
Newton per millimeter square.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Stress
Okay,
into-
how do you find area of stress strain diagram? Stress into strain,
Yes, sir.
right? So Newton per millimeter square, right? Because of the stress, and strain is not unitless.
Yes, sir.
Now what if I multiply by millimeter on both sides? Yeah, meter on both sides.
That is work done, and denominator is volume.
Okay, so that becomes Newton meter, that is joule per meter cube.
Yes, sir.
So tell me one thing, Jeevan, when you are saying Newton per meter square, I am saying no. But now it becomes joule per meter cube, I am saying yes. What is the difference? What is the difference between Newton per meter square and joule per meter cube?
Sir, Newton per mm square, it defines the stress value, sir. We can get strength. Joule per mm cube, we will get the energy.
Which energy?
Strain energy.
And that is what we are talking about.
Yes, sir.
So how can you give this unit instead of this?
Yes,
Understood the difference?
yes.
Seglani sir?
Okay, so Jeevan, you spoke that your this project, BTech project was on heat exchanger,
Yes, sir.
right? So if I ask you, what kind of stresses will be induced in the heat exchanger pipes?
Heat exchanger pipes. So, hoop stress and circumferential stresses.
Hoop stresses and circumferential stress.
Yes, sir.
So which
Sir,
one is
what-
greater?
Hoop stress.
And what is the direction of hoop stress?
Hoop stress. Sir, suppose this is a cylinder. Sir, can you see this?
You draw. You draw and then show. I can see. You first draw and then show. Take an element anywhere on that particular surface. Take an element on anywhere on the surface and show the directions. No. What you do? Draw the pipe lengthwise, and on its surface, take an element very small element, and show the direction of hoop stress and the other stress that you are talking. Draw the pipe simply, kind of cylinder, and then just show on that surface their directions.
So this is hoop stress.
This is hoop stress. Okay. So have you taken it on the front or on the top?
Top, sir, top.
Top. Then direction should be vertical.
So, yes, sir. It is like front. Top, it will be a radial one.
No. What I am saying is where you have taken this element, on the top, on this cylinder, or on the front.
On the circumference, sir.
On the circumference at the top.
Yes, sir.
So now if it
Yes,
is
sir. It should be on the face. It should be on the face.
okay, on the face, on the top you are taking, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the direction? It will be vertically the way you have shown, or
No, sir. It will in this direction.
Sorry.
It will be in this direction, sir. Not vertical. It is like this.
Okay. So, and let us say if you are having a football.
Sir?
Football.
Okay.
So, what kind of stresses will be induced over there?
Sir, it is both circumferential and hoop stresses, but they both have same magnitude.
Both are same.
So, same magnitude.
Okay. Can you draw the Mohr circle for this particular state of stress in case of heat exchanger that I gave you? Draw that Mohr circle for that. So this is the Mohr circle for this state of stress.
For heat exchanger.
This for this pipe that you have drawn, right?
Yes, sir.
Where is longitudinal stress in this?
Sir, I assume longitudinal stress is 0.
Why?
Sir, because there is no restriction to this heat exchanger, right, sir?
So if there is no restriction, then how that longitudinal stresses will induce? And for that matter, do you think that hoop stresses will be induced?
Hoop stress will be induced, sir.
But longitudinal will not develop.
Yes, sir.
But how will you generate the pressure if it is open?
Pardon, sir?
If you are saying that if there is that means as per you, there will be no like kind of pressure acting longitudinally.
Yes, sir.
For that, this stress inducing longitudinally.
Hmm.
Will it be possible? You are pumping that fluid in under pressure through the pipes, and you are saying that only this hoop stress will be generated, but not the longitudinal stress. Do you think it is possible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what will be the this Mohr circle for this spherical pressure vessel or the football that I just spoke to you? Can you draw?
Sir, it will be a point, sir.
Point where?
Point sigma comma 0 from the origin if sigma is the stress.
Okay. Can you let me know the plane where you're going to have the maximum value of the shear stress in that case?
Sir, there will be no shear stress.
There will be no shear stress.
It's a good thing or bad thing?
PD by 40. Yes, sir. No shear stress.
Given that is a good thing or bad thing?
It is good, sir.
Good for whom?
Suppose if the material we make it as a generally shear strength will be a bit less compared to the tensile strength.
For which material?
For ductile materials.
Okay.
So if there is no shear strength, then the material is not going to fail under shear, only under tensile.
So you mean to say that if we subject this kind of loading on a ductile material, they will not fail in shear mode. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, sir.
So suppose I give you a ductile material and I subject that ductile material to sigma both sides, right? So it will fail because of principal stress. Is that what you will say?
Yes, sir.
At which plane it will fail?
At the same plane, sir, 0 degrees.
Something like this. Is that?
Yes, sir.
So ductile material, what about brittle?
Sir,
Brittle will
brittle
also
also.
fail similarly.
Yes, sir.
So if I subject this kind of loading to ductile and brittle, they both will fail at this plane. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Why only this plane? Because principal stress is maximum at this plane.
Yes, sir.
But every plane is a principal plane, no?
Correct.
Every plane is a principal plane. Can you see that?
Yes, sir. If in this case where there is a void, where there is a discontinuity in the plane, in that plane it is going to fail.
So you mean to say void is somewhere here only?
No, sir. It can be anywhere.
So do you want to change your answer?
Yes, sir.
What is the
If
new
there,
answer?
yes, sir, it is going to fail on the plane where there is a discontinue or where there is a void something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I think we can move on to the next topic now. I think. Vishal sir,
Yes, yes,
can we move on to the next topic? I think.
yes. So, Jivan, you worked on some heat exchanger during your BTech project.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, can you draw a temperature profile for a counter? Yes, draw
Counterflow.
temperature profile. Draw temperature profile for a counterflow evaporator. I'm saying.
Evaporator.
Yes, counterflow evaporator. You worked on some counterflow heat exchanger, na? Yes. Draw temperature profile for counterflow evaporator.
Evaporator. It is going to evaporator ante it is going to evaporate. Then it's okay. Right. So
Yes, show me the direction also. You have not shown any direction. By you need to draw for counterflow, na? So you are changing phase. Changing phase is there.
yes, sir.
For which substance?
For the hot fluid.
For the hot fluid. In evaporator, changing phase takes place of with what you can say.
The liquid.
If there is a water cooler, if there is a water cooler, so changing phase of takes place of the like external fluid or some internal fluid.
Internal fluid. Refrigerant.
Yes, refrigerant, na?
Yes, sir.
So which is at low temperature? Internal fluid or external fluid?
Internal.
So again check it. Is the temperature profile is right? You have drawn. Is it right?
No, sir. It is going to evaporate. And its temperature is going to increase. So something like this.
Okay. So why you not done it in first step? This is
I thought it
yes.
as a
So you fraction again.
I thought it as a something evaporator of steam, sir. If there is a steam, uh,
Then if there is a steam, it
superheating.
will not be evaporator, na?
Yes, sir.
It will not be evaporator. Acha, can you draw this again temperature profile for a counterflow condenser?
Condenser.
Counterflow condenser.
Condenser. Its heat is going to increase. Okay.
Yes. Now it is right. So can you tell me uh, what are the ways by which you will design a heat exchanger? How to basically? What are the steps to design a heat exchanger?
So first, we will calculate how much heat the heat exchanger is going to exchange. How much heat first. We will calculate that. Then
Okay.
we know the from various equations of we have various Nusselt number equations. From this we can calculate the heat transfer coefficient, and from heat transfer
Okay.
coefficient we will calculate the net heat transfer coefficient U. And
Okay.
if it is a counter flow or parallel flow, we will calculate the LMTD of that heat exchanger. And we know Q, we know
Acha,
U,
what
and
is LMTD in this case? What is LMTD in this case? In this case, what is LMTD?
1 minus. So if we know the temperatures, we can find.
Yes.
If we know the temperatures, we can find.
Okay. Upper one is hot fluid or cold fluid?
Okay.
So can you now find out LMTD?
Yes, sir. TH1 minus TCE,
Okay.
THI minus TCE. Okay. Delta TE minus.
Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. Delta TE minus delta TI by ln delta TE by delta TI.
Okay. So what is which one is more effective in this case? Like counter flow or parallel flow? If you will draw parallel flow also for evaporator, this particular which one is more effective? Counter flow heat exchanger or parallel flow heat exchanger?
So for evaporator and condenser, counter flow or parallel flow doesn't matter, sir, because the change in temperatures are same for both. So it will both are equally effective.
Both will be equally effective. You are saying. So what is same? What is same actually in both the cases?
LMTD will be same, sir.
LMTD will be same. Okay. So can you tell us effectiveness of a heat exchanger? What is effectiveness of a heat exchanger? What is effectiveness of a heat exchanger?
So
And what is the range of this effectiveness?
in terms of NTU or normal specific heat.
Only first define what is effectiveness. Tell me the range of this also. What is the range of the effectiveness?
So effectiveness is the ratio of the amount of heat transferred in a heat exchanger to that of maximum heat
Okay.
transfer that can take place.
Okay.
And
What is
it
actual heat
ranges.
transfer? What is actual heat transfer?
Actually,
Suppose this is the hot fluid in, this is the hot fluid exit. Consider this as a water. Consider this as a water. Inlet temperature of the water, consider inlet temperature of water is 60 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Inlet temperature is 60 and exit temperature is consider 30 degrees Celsius.
So
Okay,
we
yes,
need
then
mass flow rate also. Mass flow rate.
okay, mass flow rate is required. Okay, consider 2 kg per second.
2 into
Mass flow
4.18
rate 2 kg.
into 30. 2 into 4.18 into 30, sir.
Okay,
And
and
divided by, if we want
yes,
effectiveness, we need to know the minimum heat capacity, whether it is the heat capacity of water is minimum or the other refrigerator is minimum. We need to know, and the difference between maximum temperature minus minimum temperature. The maximum temperature is 60 and the minimum temperature is the condenser temperature. In that
Acha,
way we can
which
find.
one you will take? Which one you will take? Minimum heat capacity rate or high heat capacity rate?
Minimum, sir, minimum.
Why?
So if the heat capacity is minimum, then the temperature difference would be maximum. In that way, this combination will give you maximum heat transfer.
No, if you will take maximum heat capacity, that will be more, na? Like if you will multiply some temperature difference with that, you can say maximum heat capacity, the difference, the product you will get some more. Why?
But that is not
If you will
possible,
take
right?
like maximum heat capacity,
But
that is
that,
not possible.
yes, sir. Means that much heat for that heat exchanger is not possible.
अच्छा, जब heat capacity rate ज़्यादा होती है, suppose heat capacity rate is more for one fluid. Okay, so for unit change in temperature, the heat required is more or high? What do you think?
Heat capacity is more, then heat required to read it will be more, sir.
It will be more. Okay, so for temperature difference for high heat capacity rate, like you are saying this is not possible, THI minus TCI.
Means sir,
So
in denominator we need to have maximum possible heat transfer that could takes place, but
okay,
specific heat maximum minus delta T temperature, this product will give maximum value, but with this heat exchanger we cannot get that much heat.
okay. अच्छा, range क्या होती है इसकी effectiveness की? What is the range of this effectiveness?
So it will be less than 1.
Okay.
And more than 0.1 or 0.2. It depends on the heat exchanger, sir.
Okay,
Depends
Jeevan, this three terms you know, effectiveness, efficiency, COP.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me for what devices do you use these three terms? Effectiveness, as you just calculated for heat exchanger.
Okay, means we will be using for effectiveness. We will be using for heat exchanger and a fin.
Yes, and efficiency for engine.
COP
And
for refrigerant and heat pump.
my question is, what is common among all these three terms and why different names? What is common among all these three terms?
We will calculate the performance of the device, sir.
Good. And why these three different names?
Like so suppose COP will be more than 1. No, not COP. No.
Can you tell me the range of efficiency, range of effectiveness, range of COP?
So COP for refrigerant, it is from 0 to infinity, sir.
Equal to, yeah, greater than equal to? I mean greater than or greater than equal to? What should I write?
Not equal to, sir.
Okay, it is correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what is the COP of pump?
Pump, it is between 1 to infinity, and we can write greater than or equal to.
Okay, what about
At the
efficiency?
1. For efficiency, 0 to 1.
0 to 1. Okay, what about effectiveness?
So effectiveness, it is between 1. Effectiveness also, it is between 1 and 0, sir.
0 to 1.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why different names? Looks like same, no? Why different names, at least in effectiveness and efficiency? We can say efficiency here also, right or not?
Sir,
There's even effectiveness fin की क्या होती है? What is effectiveness of a fin?
fin, sir. The total heat lost by the fin by the uh, heat lost without fin.
So will it be always more than one? Yes or no?
Yes,
When
sir.
you are using a fin, it will be more
Correct.
than one.
Correct, sir.
So how you can say that key effectiveness is only less than one? For fin, you are getting effectiveness more than one. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. For this is for heat exchange, sir. Sorry.
This is for heat exchanger. You are saying.
Okay. So you said thermodynamics also a favorite subjects?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you please define me, Jeevan, the meaning of thermo and dynamics? What is the
Sir,
meaning of thermo and what is the meaning of dynamics?
thermo is energy, sir. It can be transient form of energy or stored form of energy.
It can be
And
transient. What do you mean by transient?
transient means it is dependent on path.
Okay. Can you name some?
Transient is work and heat,
Heat and work. Okay.
and
What are,
stored is internal energy, kinetic energy, potential energy.
okay. What about dynamics?
And dynamics is we study these forms, how it converts from one form to another.
What is that called?
Transfer or
Transfer or transformation?
transformation.
What is the difference between transformation and transfer?
So transfer means something that which is previously that characteristic exists something. If it is transformation, the previous part is completely converted into another form.
Okay, the energy which you have, what is that energy?
It can suppose if suppose there is heat energy I have,
No,
and
not
transform.
suppose. As a person, as an individual, as a biological entity, आपके पास कौन सी energy है? Which energy do you have?
Okay, chemical energy something.
You have chemical energy inside?
So means we eat food, no sir. That food
ठीक है.
comes,
So that food gives you energy in the chemical form.
means I think food as a chemical. That's it.
Okay, and that energy is converted into what?
After combustion, it converts into heat.
So do you think combustion is going on inside you?
Means after the digestion.
What is that called?
Digestion.
No, that is called metabolism. Calories are burned, right? And you get the energy?
Yes.
Okay,
Sir.
can you give me example in which work is converted into heat?
Yes, sir.
And heat is converted into work.
So work is converted into, suppose if there is a box on a friction surface, highly friction. Now I move this box on the surface. This work is converted into heat from the friction.
Okay.
And heat to work, we can give it as heat, IC engine, steam turbine, everything.
Other than engine, can you convert heat into work in any other device?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, I think we can use thermocouple, sir.
In thermocouple, you can convert that, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the principle of thermocouple?
Seebeck effect.
What is that?
Suppose if two materials are joined and they are made at two different temperatures, and they are placed at two different temperatures, then EMF is going to be generated.
Okay. Why?
And with that EMF, we can run the motor.
This is hot junction. This is cold junction, right?
Yes, sir.
How the current will start flowing?
Sir, because of this temperature difference,
Mhm.
uh, uh, the materials we use conductive materials, like it should have free electrons in it.
Okay, I give you the example of copper and constantan. Copper and constantan I give you, let us say. They are two different materials making the hot and cold junction. Now tell me how the current will start flowing. Why the current will flow?
So because of this temperature difference, the electrons which are in a valence shell, they are going to excite and they will form the free electrons.
So there is thermionic emission.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because of which
This
electrons are going to come out. And electrons will go out equally from both sides.
no, sir.
Then,
That is the reason we have two different materials.
okay, and then the current will start flowing.
Yes.
Okay, so can you create engine from this?
Engine.
Yeah. What is the main application of this thermocouple?
Thermocouple we used to find the temperatures at any position, like with this
Thermometer.
EM. Yes, sir.
Thermometer.
Yes.
Can it be used as engine also?
Engine. Sir, we can use it as motor, sir, not
Sorry?
engine. We can use it for motor, not engine.
Okay. Let me give you a TS diagram. Which cycle is this?
Carnot cycle. If
Okay.
if you know
So
the directions.
can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, this process 4 to 1 is expansion or compression?
Sir,
Tell me
one.
all these four processes 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. Which of the processes are expansion and which are compression?
So 1 to 2 is isothermal heat addition.
I'm not saying addition or rejection. I'm saying compression or expansion.
Okay. So we need to know the direction of the.
I'm telling you clockwise. This direction you know, na? Is
Okay.
it visible to you? 1, 2,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
3, 4. Now tell me what is the expansion, what is the compression? Can you draw PV diagram for this?
Yes, sir. I will do. First isothermal heat addition. Isothermal heat addition. Isoentropic. Oh, isoentropic heat rejection. So 1 to 2 and 4 to 1 are expansion processes.
Tell me again.
So 1 to 2 is expansion, sir.
1 to 2 is expansion. Could
Yes,
you
sir.
make PV diagram? Are you getting this kind of PV diagram?
Yes, sir.
You're getting this? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now suppose I give you this as PV diagram. This is the PV diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you make the TS diagram for this?
Yes, sir.
Just make it.
1 to 2 constant pressure. Constant pressure. Constant volume. One more. Yes, sir.
Can you show me? Okay, so 1 to 2 is the heat addition process, right? 1 to 2 is a heat addition. Why you said heat addition? Why
So
1 to 2 is heat addition?
at constant pressure, volume is going to increase.
Okay, then
Then yes, sir. Then if volume is going to increase, then temperature is also going to increase.
okay, now let me give you this as PV diagram, circle. Make the TS diagram for this.
Is this TS or PV, sir?
TS. TS.
So it will be circle only, sir.
Why?
Sir, if the area under TS and PV diagrams are net work and net heat transfer respectively. So to make the area equal, it should be circle.
No, but shape need not to be same. Like area of this and area is the same. What is the trouble? Shape can be anything. Why you are saying that to make the area equal, shape should also be circle? Can't I say that if this is the area, this area and this area can be equal? What is the trouble in that?
So we need to know for this process, it is a polytropic process, no, sir.
Yeah, it's a polytropic process.
So it polytropic process, it should be a curve. So it can't be a straight line.
Okay, my last question to you from my side is, I give you a glass of water. It is at 50 degrees centigrade. Outside temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. You have to tell me what is the enthalpy of this, internal energy of this, entropy of this, available energy of this. Glass of water, water at 50 degrees centigrade, ambient temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. You have to tell me the internal energy of this, enthalpy of this, entropy of this, available energy in this.
Sir, in this, I will assume that enthalpy at 0 degrees temperature is 0.
So you have taken reference, right?
Yes, sir.
Enthalpy is 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now enthalpy will be mCp into 50 degrees centigrade.
MCP delta T, yeah?
MCP-T.
MCP into 50.
Yes.
I should take it 50 or 273 plus 50?
50, sir.
Why?
Sir, 0 degrees centigrade is 273 Kelvin, no, sir.
Internal energy?
In place of Cp, we will get Cv.
MCV 50. What is the
Into-
CV for water? What
Sir,
is
both
CP
are
and
same, sir. 4.18.
both
Cp
will
and
be
Cv
equal?
will be same.
Both will be equal?
Yes, sir.
Entropy?
Entropy, mCp ln 50 plus 273 by 273.
Acha, Jeevan, tell me one thing. For water you take CP or CV? 4.18 लिखते हैं ना? So that is CP or CV? Water में.
For water, Cp and Cv will be same, sir.
But what do you write normally? You write CP.
Yes, Cp.
Why do you write CP? Why not CV? For water.
Because it is at constant pressure.
Why?
So its property like so whether it is constant pressure or
Okay,
constant volume.
in the kitchen, I give you two situations. In one situation, you are heating something in a cooker, pressure cooker, and another situation, it is open to atmosphere heating. Which case it is a constant pressure heating?
Both cases, sir.
Pressure cooker is always constant pressure heating or constant volume heating also?
So if the lid is open, then
Pressure
it is
cooker, you know what is pressure cooker?
yes, sir.
Constant pressure
pressure.
heating? Or is there any chance it is constant volume heating also?
So once the lid gets opened, then it is constant.
Then it
volume.
is
Constant volume.
once whistle blows, it is constant volume.
Yes, sir.
So the moment whistle blows, it is constant volume. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me now what is available energy?
Sir, available energy is heat minus unavailable energy.
Good.
Q is MCP 50 minus 30 minus unavailable energy is T naught into delta S, the entropy which we have get MCP ln 50 plus 273 by 273. That.
Okay. I think then we start giving you the feedback. I think we start from Saklani sir. This is how it was.
Right. Okay. So, given we started with the very basic things like strength, what is the strength and all that, right? So, okay, first I asked you what is strength of material, and okay, more or less you are on the on the right track. But when I ask you that how do we express the strength, right? So you said that we express it in megapascal, and then you said that it does not. It depends upon strength, depends upon like size, right? Initially you said that it depends upon the size. Then later on, when I gave you some kind of more questions, then you just rectified it, and then you said that okay, no, it does not depends upon strength. Why it does not depend? Because it's a material problem. For that particular material, when you are representing per unit area, obviously it is going to be same, right? So that should have been. That means the expectation would be that on the very first, like when the question is asked to you, you must give the correct answer because this is very basic. You start the strength of material from here, and I ask you what kind of strengths are there. Here again, you didn't give me the straight answer, right? So you could have very simply said that strength, when we say, then we first need to tell that what kind of loading are we talking about, right? So let us say if we are saying that we are subjected to tensile loading, then you can say, obviously I can speak about the tensile strength also, or maybe yield strength also in tension. And also because if the same material, even if it is subjected to tensile loading, then somewhere along the plane, it may also be getting subjected to shear. So I also need to speak about the shear strength also.
Yes,
right? So loading could be of any type, but you could have like broadly when we say that it could be a shear strength, or and in shear you also you're having like yield. In shear you are also having like what, this ultimate tension, yield, ultimate compression, yield, ultimate. Mainly these are the strengths that we talk about. So that will depend upon the type of loading also, and for the same loading you could have different kinds of values of strength that you can talk about, right? Then the added question to you on this was that can you let me know on what factors this particular strength depends, right? So you can say obviously it is a type of loading. Type of loading kaha tha, like you said the type of loading, but you went into dynamic loading, right? But within the static loading also, you can say like if I am subjecting that material to shear, then I can talk about the shear loading or this shear strength also. Like in static loading, I can talk about the compressive or tensile strength also. But when I go to dynamic loading, then I will definitely talk about like endurance strength and all that. So definitely it depends upon the type of loading, and within that particular type of loading, you can specifically talk about like as we said different types of strengths, right? That way you have to tell. Then I think then we spoke about. Then next question I framed to you was related to this strain energy, where I think then Dr. Vijender spoke to you about the units, right? You explained okay what is strain energy, but I think that attention you need to pay. That what is the meaning of energy, not in Newton per mm square and all that. Then it was related to your, I think yes, some questions were framed on the similar lines like resilience and all that. I think you answered on the like, okay. So now one more question I framed to you was related to your temperature.
Yes.
Okay, that you are having a super. So initially you answered it correctly, but when I gave you the constraint, like if it is constrained from both the ends, right? So when it is cooled, now have a look. When it is cooled, then obviously you are saying that it will try to contract. This is the bar, it will try to contract. So when it will try to contract, then obviously kya hoga? What will happen? When it will come to original shape, but it will be restrained by these particular supports. These supports will not allow this particular material to contract. When it will not allow, then obviously this will be pulled. You said that, okay, there is intention. Then I said that what will happen to the support? What kind of load will be acting on the support? So if this bar is cooling, then obviously its dimension will try to, that means its length will try to get reduced. Then obviously it will try to pull this wall along with it. This is how it will happen. If you think of this dimension, if it is contracting, it will try to reduce its size. So if it will try to reduce the size, then obviously it will exert the force on this particular wall. It will try to pull along with it. Similar situation will happen over here. Until and unless it will pull these walls, you cannot have a tensile force on this particular bar. So if you are saying that it is getting subjected to tensile loading, then obviously these walls will also be getting pulled. You said that if they are getting compressed. No, compress come when it is they are going to compress. When you will heat it up. When you will heat it up, it will try to expand. When it will try to expand, it will exert the force on the walls. Right? And in turn will get compressed also. So in that case, you can say the walls are getting compressed. You can say the compressive force will be acting on the walls when this bar is getting heated up. So just you need to take a few seconds and think properly. Just you don't have to go with the rote memory. Okay, it will expand this way. This will happen. Just think logically, and you will get the answer. Okay, I think the next question was related to yes. This we spoke about your heat exchanger. That okay, if heat exchanger pipes is what kind of stresses will be induced. But it seems okay, more or less, like you said that longitudinal stress may not be that much. It may be small, but like not that much significant, right? Because you have not constrained it from the lengthwise, right? So I think that was okay. Then we spoke about this Mohr circle, right? You spoke about that. So I think you were on the correct lines, explaining this, that how this material is going to fail, right? And I think you explained it properly, how it is going to fail and what kind of stresses are going to be generated. So what from my side, what I think is that, so the basic questions, you should not falter on the basic questions. Like the questions which were framed to you on later stage, I think you applied your mind and more or less you could answer. But initial phase, you didn't apply your mind much. You were on the simply what you had in your mind, you are just taking it out. Just see, in case of ISRO interview, it is very important that you just think and they will just frame you. They will see your approach, how you are approaching that particular problem. At the end, even if you falter, if your approach is correct, that is to your advantage. Okay, so you need to apply your mind when you are in that particular interview. Okay, I think we can move on to Vishal sir now.
Vishal sir.
Yes, Jeevan, I asked you related to temperature profile. What do you need to understand? Like if there is a case of evaporator or condenser, कोई भी case हो, तो आपको evaporator के लिए क्या याद कर रखना है? Evaporator में क्या होता है? What happens in evaporator? Heat addition.
Heat addition.
Heat addition. Okay. Condenser में क्या होता है? Heat rejection. Okay. So if you will remember these two things only, you will be able to draw temperature profile like this. If I want to draw for evaporator, तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Refrigerant का क्या हो रहा है? Change in phase. Okay. And heat is added to the refrigerant ना, you know. Okay. So second fluid कहाँ पे आएगा? ऊपर की तरफ आएगा. And if it is a parallel flow, you will show direction in same direction. And if it is a counter flow, you will show in opposite direction. Getting point? So what you need to understand, only one thing. If it is an evaporator, there will be heat addition. And when there will be heat addition, the refrigerant will be at low temperature only. Then only there will be heat transfer, na? Because you know heat transfer takes place from high temperature to low temperature.
Low
Okay.
temperature.
Similarly, if it is a case of condenser, अगर ये क्या है condenser है, so what you will draw? This is one substance which is changing phase. इसको क्या करना है? Heat reject करना है. किसको reject करेगा ये? किसको reject
Low
करेगा?
cold
The
fluid.
fluid which is at low temperature. Okay, तो वो कहाँ पे आएगा? You can show it like this or like this. ऐसे भी show कर सकते हो, ऐसे भी show कर सकते हो. Any one you can show. कोई एक आप show कर सकते हो. Okay, so then only you can easily draw temperature profile. Earlier, initially you have drawn the temperature profile wrong, but when I said that this is not right, then finally you have corrected it. Okay, so you need to work on this. Next, I asked you related to effectiveness. Correctly, you have defined this effectiveness of a heat exchanger, effectiveness range you told, but that is not right. Basically, effectiveness of fin, you know, that is more than one. Okay, and it can be range, है ना? So what you need to understand, key effectiveness can be more than one also. You cannot say key effectiveness is greater than 0 or less than 1. Okay, and next I asked you related to this thing, how to design a heat exchanger. Then yes, you said that key first we will balance energy balance equation. We will find out heat transfer, how much heat we want to transfer. Okay, then yes, we will find out LMTD. Okay, then we will design heat exchanger. We'll find out all fault temperatures, and then we will design heat exchanger by simple Q equal to LM UA delta TM. You know. Okay, so I found you are having knowledge related to this particular subject, heat transfer. But one thing I want to ask, you said that in polytropic there will be no straight line, there will be always curve. Is it right? In polytropic you are saying there will be always curve. So can you draw this particular process PV ki power minus n, PV ki power minus n equal to constant? Can you draw this
Yes, sir.
n equal to minus 1? So what you will get? What you will get? You will
It is hyper.
you will get, because we are, no, it will be a straight line like this.
Yeah, PV. Yes, sir.
It will be a straight line. Yes or no? Because P by V is constant. Yes or no? And what is P by V? What is P by V? It is
Y
dP
equal to mx.
by dV. dP by dV is minus n P by V. Yes or no? dP by dV is minus n P by V. So when n is minus 1, so slope will be positive. You will get a straight line. Okay. So I found technically your knowledge is fine. Okay, but you need to work on your energy and your expression. Your energy is slightly low, first thing, and your expressions are also not that much, you can say, good. So you need to work on your expressions, okay, and your energy level. Okay, so this is from my side. Now I think Vijender sir can interact with you.
Okay, Jeevan, I think this all is okay. Saklani sir has given you the feedback kind of question asked. My question, you have answered it very well. Offset method, resilience, but don't make mistake in the units. The area under stress strain diagram is energy per unit volume. That is called specific, basically energy per unit volume is called modulus actually. Modulus of resilience, modulus of toughness. You understand that? So this answer was correctly given. And then you got confused here. Like in this kind of loading, when you get Mohr circle as a point, every plane is a principal plane. At no plane you get the shear stress, you know, there is no shear stress. But and if a ductile material which fails in shear mode, does not mean it will not fail. It will fail in the normal stress mode then. And as you rightly said, it can fail anywhere where there's a deficiency. So you could answer it. Obviously, then Vishal sir has given you the feedback of his. This question I asked you, but you faltered here. Vishal sir could catch you that in case of fin, it is wrong. So why different names? Because they reflect different things. They reflect different machines. The concept is different. It is, you know, heat per unit work. It is work per unit heat. It is something different. So names are different, and that is the reason you go for it. Thermo, you could say energy also, transformation, heat transfer, but in thermodynamics it is transformation. Transformation means one form to another, heat to work, work to heat, internal energy to heat, something like that. Transfer means from one spot to another, from one place to another. That is what you should know. Then you know, in thermodynamics, I'm happy. Thermodynamics you have revised, because you could answer majority of my questions in thermodynamics. So I asked you about PV to TS diagram, TS to PV diagram. Majority questions you could answer in thermodynamics, except probably answer of this is also correct. Like PV diagram of this will be circle only, but you need to find out why circle. Why circle? Why not other diagram? I leave this question to you. Understand that? So find the answer for this. See how you get the answer for that. And then obviously this perfectly you could answer all the questions. Pressure cooker, when the whistle is not blowing, it is constant volume heat addition. But when the whistle blows, it is constant pressure heat addition. So when whistle is not blowing, then it is constant volume. That is called unsteady state. But when its steady state comes, constant pressure. So open lid, atmospheric, constant pressure heat addition. Pressure cooker, high pressure, constant pressure but high pressure heat addition process. So rest all answer you could give, and I'm happy that your level of thermodynamics is good. And let me tell you one more thing, Jeevan, you are ready for ISRO interview, but they are going to check your approach. So think and properly answer it. As far as your dressing is concerned, are you going to remove this or not?
Which one, sir? This one.
Beard.
No, sir. Actually, day before yesterday, my grandmother has got expired, so that's why I couldn't.
Okay. So, and what about ties and all?
Sir, if it is required, I will wear, sir.
Yes, it is required. It is required. Get well and take a tie of black color, possibly. If it is possible for you, use black color tie and proper shirt, plain shirt, beard and hair proper, and that will be wonderful for you. Fine, Jeevan? So it was perfect. Go ahead and you are ready for that. Just prepare well. Fine. Okay, thank you.
Sir, grading.
Okay, Jeevan, best of luck.
Grading I will give you. Okay, I'll give you 8 out of 10. I'll give you 8 out of 10 in my subject. Overall will be 7.5. 7.5 overall. Other subjects you have to prepare well.
Sir, what will be the questions asked regarding ISRO? They will be asking questions regarding ISRO also, no, sir?
They don't ask much question about ISRO or your introduction or something like that. They don't go into that detail. ISRO, they don't ask much. But whatever question they will ask, I'll provide you that in the common group, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.